showed that people who were doing Preksha meditation for 1 year, they had regression, as you see on the right side, of the intimal media. So early atherosclerosis can be reversed by that. Control showed an increase. This is a randomized study which has been published in one of the very leading journals. In addition to that, you can see that this is again a randomized study as compared to controls. There was a decrease in the body mass index, so very good for obesity. There was a decrease in waist circumference. Very few things can do it, you see. Preksha Dhyan seems to be one of them. HDL increased, which is a good cholesterol. LDL decreased much more, and systolic blood pressure. These are all published. Others have also shown that even insulin resistance can, so it's an extremely good use for prevention of heart disease if one can control metabolic syndrome. Then there are studies in advanced atherosclerosis. There are several studies, 3 of them are with angiography. Initially was with Dean Ornish. He did not use the term yoga meditation, but he used the yogic methods. And he showed that it is possible to regress. But his study had a problem. Problem was that it was only 40% blockage. It came down to 37, statistically significant, but did not accept. Secondly, it was not very user-friendly. We did a study that was long back in 96 when I got associated with the Preksha meditation, and this has the blessings of Acharya Tulsi and Acharya Mahapragya. They told me one thing. They were very scientific people. Doctor, we think we are treating, we are helping heart patients, but you will tell us the truth. I think this is what a true scientist is. So I'm highly impressed that they were trying to look for truth. Of course, they knew the truth from inside, but they wanted also by the objective methods. So we did this study. It took us 4 years. We published it. This is one of the most quoted articles in the literature on yoga, and we showed that it was first study more than 70% blocked, 2 or 3 years blocked, and the third is Raj Yoga. Next, which is by meditation. And all the 3 results are the same. I want to show you here that whatever method you use, whether you use the conventional yoga, you use Preksha meditation or Raj Yoga meditation, results are exactly same in these studies, that the body mass index decreased, lipids decreased markedly without statins, angina decreased, there was a regression on angiography, and psychosocial status improved. And the compliance, this is what I want to say. Because when we told patients that you should exercise, you should take proper diet, the compliance was more than 80 in all these 3 studies. We have now 80,000 patients who are following this, and we have saved so many people from bypass surgery. I will show you. Next. This is the, very briefly, a study which we did. I will just show you. This was called, this was published long back. And this is what we did, the randomized control again, and the yoga group was given. They asked to control the risk factors. The diet was special, reversal diet and moderate aerobic, and these usual Preksha meditative techniques, health rejuvenating relaxation, breathing exercises, and asanas, Preksha meditation, stress management, all of them were there. And most of the techniques of Preksha meditation were used here, that is thinking positive and control of emotions and so on and so forth. And Kayosarg has been shown to be as effective as, this is pranayam, next quickly. And even people could not sit on the floor, they could do it on this. I'll just take a minute more. And these are some of the stretching exercises. Swami Dharmanandji, who was directing these people, we are continuing this. And the doctors and nutritionists were telling, so a good, I think, mix of science and next, please. And these are the results. I don't want to go into details, but as you have already seen, that they were statistically highly significant. Meditation has been also shown to decrease the mortality after heart attacks. This is a study on transcendental meditation from United States, 7 years follow-up. And it was shown that 50% reduction in another myocardial infarction or mortality. So it could be as useful. So every patient, we are doing a huge study that every patient after a angioplasty bypass is getting this. And in rehabilitation, as I said, we are doing a huge study, 16 hospitals in India. This is the largest study ever being done on 4,000, and results will come in another 4 years. We are using most of the Preksha meditation technique. Next. And many hospitals are using it. Our hospital also uses it before bypass surgery and after. Next. And even arrhythmias. Next. This is a study from United States that atrial fibrillation, next, can come down. Even in heart failure, ejection fraction has been shown to improve. I think the last, next. So these are the benefits, improves concentration even in children. So many other benefits are there. I'll not go into that. Huge amount of data is there that can prevent large, next. Diseases which are lifestyle like hypertension, coronary diabetes. I have not gone into details of all this. And atrial fibrillation, even anti-aging and anti-cancer, as I said, Dr. Ornish has clearly shown that the gene expression can be suppressed. And even in cancer, there are several studies that it increases the cancer destroying cells. Next. So to conclude, it's a holistic lifestyle and therefore scientific results does suggest that it is very important to control hypertension and many heart diseases, in reverse heart disease. Although there are limitations of the studies, we need large studies which are going on. I think being a simple technique, it can be used for holistic heart, especially the healthy heart. Next. And we are using it in hospitals. You can see in Gangaram we have a Preksha meditation center where it is being taught to many patients who want to avoid heart disease or after bypass. Next. And finally, somebody asked me, one of the great cardiologists was asked, what is wellness, difference between illness and wellness? He says you replace I by we and we became well. This is the crux of, and lot of data is available that if I becomes we, then we will always remain health. And holistic health is the need of the hour. I am glad in countries like India and all over the world, a cost-effective technique is available. I have used it more than 80,000 patients. It's practical. Even patients 80 years, 70 years can do it. But the best effect will be if you do in school children. We have seen several studies. I was in Bangalore recently, and Dr. Khalsa, my colleague from Harvard, was presenting a data that they are trying to make it compulsory in US schools because there's such good data there to show that all the bad habits of the children, their drug addictions, their smoking, their performance, etc. But everybody should do it. We have done it in executives who are under stress and all. And if disease is not there, it's the best. If disease is mild, it can reverse. If disease is advanced, it will be helpful. Thank you very much. Sorry, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Manchanda, for your masterly lecture. There will be a lot of questions, but before that, we will have the two questions now, and in the end, we will have the full question session. So, two questions, please.
One thing, I have a couple of questions. So, about yoga, you have tried all the possible angles. What about Omkar? So, that is one thing, use of Omkar recitation, is it useful? And number two, about the controversies of cholesterol. Now, they say that it is not a factor to be considered. So, do you still agree?
Yes, I think both the things are right. There are at least 4 studies on Om pronunciation, MRI resonance imaging. Those areas are stimulated where peace and happiness is there. Yes, there are studies on Gayatri Mantra also. I did not have the time. On prayers, 40 studies are there. These are all available with MRI imaging. Those areas of the brain which we don't use are used during a meditation, etc. There's no question about it. The right side of the brain is used, which is having tranquility and all. So there is data, but as I said, data is still controversial. The reason is you have to uniform methodology, you have to have very hard data, etc. And people are trying, like we are trying this larger study on a yoga meditation. The biggest criticism comes that your methodology is not very strict. Yes.
Sir. Just last question. We'll come back to again in the last end.
Doctors and pharmacists say once anti-hypertensive drug has started, then lifetime will be. Is it correct?
That's not correct. I have discontinued antihypertensives in the millions of people, provided they were doing properly Preksha meditation. By Preksha meditation, holistic diet, exercise, no tobacco, and no stress. I can tell you that the blood pressure, mild, can be easily controlled. Those who are having very high dosages, drugs can come down. So there's no question about it that lifestyle is very important in control of, especially the stress management, not mentioned in the guidelines as yet. I've talked to many of the cardiologists. I said, why don't you say that? Only recently, meditation has come in as the management of hypertension. This is only first time ever in the world. But I'm sure it will come.
We now invite to the next speaker, Dr. Seema Asher, and she will be talking to us on the impact of Preksha meditation on emotional intelligence of the children. She is assistant professor at Mulund College of Commerce, BMS department, of 17 years teaching experience.
Very good afternoon to all of you. I was really humbled by the studies done by Dr. Manchandana and Dr. Anshul Jain. My study is not so big and vast. It's a very small study which I had just conducted out of curiosity. At the outset, I'll just tell you that I'm not a Jain, but then I started studying, doing my MA in Science of Living and Preksha Meditation, and really I got interested in this whole concept of Preksha Meditation. So at my own level, on a very small level, I did this study. This study is about trying to find out whether Preksha Meditation has any influence on the emotional intelligence of teachers. I am a teacher, I am a professor, so I would like to find out the ways in which a teacher could be more useful to students and to the society. So the objective of my study is to study what is Preksha meditation, what is emotional intelligence, and to find out whether the practice of Preksha meditation is going to influence the emotional intelligence of teachers. Dr. Daniel Goleman has given us this term emotional intelligence, and he uses the term emotional quotient to measure emotional intelligence. He says it is the ability to identify, to use, understand and manage the emotions in a positive way so that we can relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others and overcome challenges and diffuse conflict. In today's world, these skills are really essential because we always work in teams, we don't work in an isolation. So we need to understand the emotions of others. As before I understand the emotions of others, I should first understand my own emotions and be able to manage them. Emotional intelligence is very, very important today because it is associated with more optimism, with greater impulse control, better moods, more closeness and warmth in relationships, more persistence under frustrating circumstances. And being a teacher, I would like my students to be more adjusting when they join college or whenever it is their first year. Emotional intelligence consists of 4 major components. The first two deal with our self-awareness, that is understanding my own emotions, and the second is how to manage my own positive as well as negative emotions, whereas the other two deal with trying to find out what are the emotions of others and then managing those emotions so that I can communicate clearly with people, I can inspire and influence them, I can work well in a team and manage conflict well. How do I find out whether the person is emotionally balanced or not? These people are very conscious and they are aware of their own reactions, about their own bodily reactions to their emotions. They can accept their positive as well as their negative emotions. They can express their emotions, whether they are positive or negative, in a better manner, and they know how to handle or manage their emotions. They have a good ability to connect. They build a rapport very fast with people, and they have an ability to resolve conflicts in a positive manner. Now, why teachers and emotional intelligence? What is the big connection? Being a teacher, I know that our students get very much influenced by what we speak. When we stand on the stage and speak, they get really influenced by what we are saying. So we are sort of a role model on them, on young people who are very at an impressionable age. So teachers are the role models of the future generation. The reputation of a school or college depends on the reputation of the teacher. Success of students also depends on the teacher's guidance and their teachings. So the teacher should not only have subject knowledge and their technical knowledge should be strong, but they should also have a set of skills which are given through emotional intelligence. And these skills are empathy, self-control, optimism, stress tolerance, self-regard, flexibility and emotional awareness. I came in contact with Preksha meditation through my MA, as I said, and my sir is sitting right over here. I acknowledge him, Professor Jain. He has really got me interested into Preksha meditation. I've just begun. I'm just a beginner in this field. What is this Preksha meditation? It is a Jain launched meditation technique which is dated long back to Lord Rishabh, who was the first Tirthankara of Jainism. Evidences are there in our Jain scriptures where Bahubali, the son of Lord Rishabh, attained salvation after he practiced Kayotsar, a form of meditation, for 12 months. But in the middle, this whole science got lost, but it was again revived by Acharya Mahapragna under the inspiration of Gurudev Tulsi from our ancient Agamas. Acharya Mahapragna has done sadhana for almost 20 years, and in 1975 he has given the term Preksha meditation after lots of study. What is the meaning of Preksha? Iksha means to see, and when we add pra to it, it means to look at things deeply, profoundly, in depth. In this technique, one observes the internal phenomena of our body. This technique of Preksha meditation helps us in awakening our own reasoning mind, that is our Vivek Buddhi we call. And it aims to change our attitudes and to change our behavior. This technique has been derived from the ancient philosophy, however, it is based on current scientific principles also. The main purpose of Preksha meditation is to purify our mental state. And when our mind becomes pure, automatically impure thoughts disappear. Our uncontrolled emotions like anger, greed, they are not only hurdles to our spiritual progress, but they are the causes of disaster in our social life. The basic principle of Preksha meditation is Sampikhai Appaga mappa enam. This means that we have to see ourselves through ourselves. Acharya Siddhesana wrote, let us observe the state of our body, perceive the form of our mind. Let us sit in meditation and observe the different states of our body. Thousands of different kinds of changes are happening in our body. So let us witness these changes with our inner eye through the perception, which is called self through the self. There are 4 major stages of Preksha meditation, which is divided into 7 main components, out of which the first one is Kayotsarg, which is relaxation, which gives number of benefits. Next. Second is Antaryatra, which gives you guidance about the unexplored zones of your body. You move your Antaratma, your Chit, from the base of your spine till the top of your, that is the Sahasra Chakra. Then the third component is Swas Preksha, where you visualize your breath with full awareness, which guides you in our journey to self-realization. Next. The fourth component is Sarir Preksha, where you are going to concentrate on each and every part of your body and observe the vibrations of your body. Next. Chaitanya Kendra Preksha, where you have the 13 main chakras according to Jainism, on which are related to our endocrine glands. Next. The sixth one is Lesha Dhyan, which many of the speakers have spoken of. Our body is surrounded by an envelope of colors called the Leshyas. The vibrations of these waves resulting from the primal drives are the malevolent Leshyas, or the bad Leshyas, you can say, whereas the other positive thoughts create Leshyas which are benevolent to us. Lesha Dhyan is used to transform the bad Leshyas to the benevolent Leshyas. It is